Batter women since you've gained some height?
I don't think I know.
Wow.
I absolutely know for a fact.
Interesting. Okay, let's keep it pushing.
Actually, now the women that I've come across have been much different than the women I had before.
What do you mean different kinds of women?
The class of women I met before the surgery were not necessarily on the same level of the class of women I'm meeting now. As far as what they do, their occupation, overall appearance, those things.
Interesting. So you think you've pulled batter women since you've gained some height?
I don't think I know.
Wow.
I absolutely know for a fact.
Interesting. Okay, let's keep it pushing.
I understand I'm short. I get that. I am pretty short, and I'm shorter, but it's just you're short too. So
And how tall are you?
I'm like 4'11".
Oh my God. Okay, and how tall are you again, Eddie?
5'9".
5'9".
Yeah. They said
I know, but you see, like,
See what?
You can look over your head.
yeah, but I can't
So
look
you want to
up.
like tippy toe.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eddie.
Hey, yo, black men, what's happening, man? Peace, peace. Now, in this one, I wrote that clip for you guys, and it's funny because I've made this video before, right? In the past, when I first got on YouTube, I was talking about semen retention, monk mode, and telling guys how to transmutate, right? As you see from the title, right, I call this video Semen Retention, Monk Mode, Transmutation in Black Women. Now, again, semen retention, the main thing with it, right? You can't just say, well, listen, I want to, because first of all, the whole process of semen retention is about holding in your seed and focusing on trying to accomplish something. Now, when you look at the fact that when you hold in your semen, this is how the body gains testosterone. Every time you decide you want to bust a nut, listen, your body is losing vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D. Again, you're pushing out any type of, mineral, source of energy, testosterone, all of those good things that your body needs to flourish in order for you to produce children as well, right? Now, again, busting a nut is not a detrimental thing to your body, right? But over time, when you hold in the semen, right, your testosterone, it builds. This is the strength building hormone that's going to allow you to build muscle mass, right? So many things about the body and science that goes into semen retention. But again, one thing about holding in the semen, it clears your mind. Now, on my first channel, I told brothers you need to do at least 365, right? You need to go an entire year without trying to chase women, figure out how to have sex, and, better yourself. Because when you think about it, right, black men at least, as we're growing up, again, you're watching young black women in your age cohort, again, specifically in high school, you're watching them give all the guys who are the worst options. Now, we might say these men are the worst options, but in the eyes of black women, they're saying they're the best options, right? But we're watching them give all the worst guys all the love, all the empathy, and all the pussy your heart can probably desire as a young man. Now, as you saw in that video clip, right, this young man, I believe he said he was in the military, right? That's how he had the money for the surgery. And he said he was 5'5". Now, his mom being 4'11", and the father being over 6 feet. Again, that's how genes work. That's how genetics work. That's how genetics work, right? You can either lean more towards the father or lean more towards the mother. Now, think about the fact how you have these short women who are going after tall men, hoping their son can turn out tall, right? And there's a reason why I played that video clip of the Pop the Balloon episode where that woman said she was what, 4'11", 5'2", and she talked about how she wants taller men. See, just because your ass is stupid and you don't understand how genetics work, don't mean men don't understand how it works. So, yes, you have these short black women, again, 5 foot, 4'11", 5'2", and they're going after tall men, not realizing, guess what? There's a 50-50 coin flip that your kid, specifically your son, can come out short just like you. And in this young man's case, it's not a negative towards him, but he came out with his mother's genes as far as height goes. Now, he mentioned how, listen, he went to Turkey and paid about $80,000 to gain, about, I think, 5 or 6 inches of height. So he described, not in this video clip I played, but there's an interview where he was interviewed on a podcast, and he said that the doctors broke his legs. Like, that's the process, right? They break his legs, put a leg lengthening rod in his leg, and over time it will stretch his legs out. So, that's how he grew to be 6 feet. Or he didn't grow, but they physically morphed him into 6 feet tall, right? And you saw when the interviewer on the Fox 5 newscast was asking him, well, what about this surgery can you see a difference in? And he talked about the women. You saw the smile on that brother's face. You saw how he was showing all 32 teeth, saying, listen, not that I think, I know the caliber of women I'm getting now compared to when I was 5 feet is so much different. And he even mentioned how, listen, he was insecure. See, that's how deep the mental thing goes with black men. See, and he said at 16 years old, he was looking up how to grow taller at 16 years old. I remember being on 16, I was typing in on Google how to make $1,000,000, right? At 16 years old on Google, I was typing in how to make $1,000,000. He was typing in how to grow taller. But see, that's how bad black women are fucking up your mind when you're 16. That's how insecure they're making you when you're 16. And that's why black men choose to put so much focus on trying to figure out how to get some pussy from a black woman, even though they're playing a game. And I told you, brothers, already, the game is rigged. They made up the game. They make the rules for the game. And the same rules they make, they break the rules for the game, black men. So again, putting most of you black men on the back burner, putting you most of you black men in their back pocket, putting you black men into a stock, putting you black men into a crypto, putting you black men into a high yield savings account so you can better yourself over time. So when she's washed up, when that pussy stretched out, now she can come back to you. Here, finally you can have a chance. We're not playing those games, black men. We are not playing those games. And see, one thing about transmutation, right? The way it works, again, once you practice semen retention, I'm gonna let you brothers know, you can't do this and say, listen, well, I'm gonna just go 365 and that's it. No, you need to be working towards something, because think about this, right? I make this content for young men, 18, 22, 25, 27, right? When you're sitting down asking yourself, I want some pussy, I want a girlfriend, how can I bag more girls? What you're going to do, go to the app store on your phone. You're about to download Tinder, download Hinge, download Bumble. You're on Facebook dating, right? Some of you guys are going to the grocery store, going to the gym. Some of you guys are probably on a university campus trying to approach every girl. And you're trying to figure out, yo, listen, I'm trying to increase my numbers. I'm trying to get some action. That's how much effort black men are putting into trying to get a girl. Not to mention, you download all the apps, right? You go out here and buy a new wardrobe, right? Some of you guys will thug max, get dreadlocks, get tattoos, right? You're doing the most just to get some black pussy, right? And then again, when it comes down to the whole conversation thing, you guys are wasting 2 hours texting, 2 hours on FaceTime, maybe even 4 hours on FaceTime. I'm guilty of that. I wasted 4 hours on FaceTime with a black John, and it went absolutely nowhere, just for me to hit her up the next day and get no response. So I'm guilty of it, right? Guys are doing the most. When it comes to the dating part, I talked about the fact of black men, you want to figure out, how can I keep the risk low and still get the reward? Now, I talked recently in my most recent video about the black woman. I made a video about her, right? Talking about she wants control over the date, right? So the young black dude was saying, well, listen, let's go out for cocktails. She said, no, I want to go out for dinner. I want steak. So she's trying to control your money, even though she knows on the back end, you're not going to get no pussy, right? You know, on the back end, the probability, the likelihood, and the possibility of you taking her back home that same night is low. And for it to go anywhere in the future, it's still low. So again, high risk, low reward. She wants you to spend more money, invest more, because again, black women know this, right? They know this. First of all, they're taught how to read you, even though everything they're taught is false, but they're taught based off of your height, based off your hairline, based off your eyes, nose, mouth, lips, all that. I had a black woman tell me, based off a man's lips, I can tell if he's gay. What? I had and that was from a young black woman, 19 years old. I had another 19, 18-year-old black woman tell me, if a man has a job, right, he doesn't have good sex. But if he has no job, no ambition, bouncing from couch to grandma home to mom home to best friend couch, he's guaranteed to have good sex, right? I had an older black woman in her 50s tell me, you can look into a man's eyes and tell if he's gay or not. What? So this is what I'm talking about. That's how far they go to tell you they can read you. So you don't think off of all those things I mentioned and plus things I don't even know about, because hold on, I've also heard black women say based off a man's hands, you can tell if he got a big dick or not. What? So again, this is how far they go to think that they can read you, black men. This is how far they go. So again, when you're young, when you're 16 years old and you're trying to figure out, why are all these other guys getting more action than me? And not just you. Trust me, it's not just you. Because when I was 16, I was trying to articulate this to other black men and they thought I was crazy, right? I remember a young guy, 19, 20 years old, stepping up to be a stepdad at that age. Are you serious? And then fast forward 2 to 3, 4 years, he's talking about F you and the kid. Right? Yo, no one told you, dumbass, to step up and be a stepdad at 20 years old. So what? You pretty much saying F her, F the stepkid, and your own kid. But that's what black men are doing. But again, that's how far they're going from a young age to tell you they can read you. And you're wondering why you can't win at the game that they're playing because you didn't even realize you were in the game. No EA Sports, I'm in the game. You was watching from the sideline, black men, right? You was watching from the sideline. You had a courtside seat, even though some of you guys thought you were playing. Maybe you thought you was third string. Maybe you thought you was fourth string. Nah, black man, you wasn't even in the game. So again, you're figuring out how to put all this energy into how to get some pussy, right? When you transmutate that same energy, that same cleverness, all those tactics and strategies and methods you're using to kind of get some women, yo, listen, you take all of that energy and put it into bettering your life. Again, figure out how to go to the gym, get bigger, get healthier, right? Again, get the wardrobe for yourself. Get a new car for yourself. Get an apartment for yourself, right? It's hard as a young black man to do things for yourself because, again, naturally, yes, we want women. But when you look at who the women are choosing, most black women at a young age, they're choosing the worst men possible. Hold on, let me get a swig of water because I'm going in right now. Right? So when you figure out how to transmutate that energy into figuring, I'm sorry, when you figure out how to transmute that energy that you're using to figure out how to get more girls, how to get more pussy, how to get more layups, when you put that into improving your life in so many areas, when you look up 6 months go past, you're in a better position. 12 months go past, you're in a better position. 24 months go past, you're in a better position. You look up 5 years later, 60 months. Listen, black man, you're in a complete different position. You look back on your life and you'll tell yourself, thank you for putting in that work. And then compare your same life to black men who you know were focusing on going out on the weekend, trying to go to the club. You're on every single app trying to figure out how to get more layups, how to get more pussy. And you have a few guys who might get some action here and there. But when you talk to these black men about what they're getting, they're not even getting anything of quality. When you practice semen retention, you'll figure out real quick the females that you want. I'm not saying that you can't get them, but let's be honest. In most cases, yo, black men, you're not getting that quality that you want. Most black men kind of already know from a young age, You have to lower your standard because they're playing that game. See, when black women say they can read you, I believe I can read them. From a young age in my teens, I knew if I saw a black woman with a wig on her head, blonde weave, that's self-hatred. I knew if a black woman was attractive, her attitude is going to be stink. I knew if a black woman had a big ass, that means she has a little brain. See, it's the same way with the jocks, right? Strong of body, weak of mind. He's nothing. He's all brawn and no brain. So you don't think it's the same thing with the women? Her having a big ass and double D titties in high school, you don't think that's a peanut brain up there? You don't think she has the attention span of a deer? Come on, black men. Let's be honest. Those are some of the dumbest black women that you come across. But again, we know that body type is what we like. So you're thinking to yourself, man, I want that. I'm trying to make that ass clap like 4th of July. I'm trying to make that ass clap like a thunderstorm. So you already trying to figure out how to get, creative on how to get the box, but you're wasting time. When you look up, why do you think so many black men, and not a lot of black men, but you do have a strong portion. I feel like the guys who are doing bad are more visible than black men who are actually doing good because why? You see the guys who are doing bad with black women. Let's be honest. The guys who are coming out of prison, the guys who wasted all their 20s trying to chase pussy and all that good stuff. I watched a video and I talked about it before already, but Brother Ice from the Pop the Balloon Challenge. If you watch that whole first of all, episode 47, but if you watch the first 20 minutes of Brother Ice entrance, one of the females asked him, can he have children? Because he's 44 years old. And she's asking, do you know your sperm count? What? You stupid ass bitch. Hold on. He mentioned that he was trying to build the foundation of his life before having kids. So guess what? The mother can raise the kid. See, black women, they don't give a fuck about having children and caring for their children and raising their children. Send that kid off to daycare. Send that kid off to school. We want the system to influence them. We want the outside world to influence them. Any smart man, you want the influence on your children to start at home. But see, black women taking that single mom route, they don't give a fuck. And again, those same joints who got their big ass, okay, let's say she does make it throughout her 20s with no kids. You think she's using that big ass to please you? You think she's using that big ass so you can bust that fire ass nut? Nah, she's weaponizing that pussy. She weaponizing that ass because she knows when I look at black men, these are the black men we chose to not give a chance to when we were in our teens and in our 20s. So yeah, fast forward, you're a black man who built your life up at 35, you're 40 years old, like Brother Ice, 44 years old. Nah, see, I'm gonna use this pussy as a weapon against you to get what I want because I'm here to extract resources. See, based off your nose, based off your lips, based off your height, based off your hobbies and interests, based off the fact that you don't have a criminal record, based off the fact that you are a productive black man, a responsible black man, a thinking black man, a critical thinking black man, an analytical thinking black man, we know that we're going to give you a bad deal. And we know the fact that we starved you out and made you wait. So you're desperate for this pussy. Even though it's used up, even though it stink, even though it's Arby's roast beef, listen, you still want it. And see, when I break this down to brothers, you thinking to yourself, man, you crazy, man. You know what you're talking about. Yo, I'm telling you exactly what I'm talking about, black man. I've studied this. From 15, from 16, from 17, I got an A+ in black women, my nigga. Stop playing with me. When I make this content, I'm serious. And this is why I tell brothers, when you really stack up your options side by side, shoulder by shoulder, black men, you got the Latina, an Asian woman, a white woman, and a black woman lined up. Even for the highest quality black woman that you can possibly get, you're actually better off with an average woman from the other groups. Seriously, because think about it. And especially if you guys grew up in certain areas. Again, for black men, you grew up down south. You really don't I'm not saying you don't know, but you really don't know what other groups are going through. You don't really know what that dynamic is like because in the South, 55% of black people in America, regardless of nationality, right? You're all living in southern states. When you go on that Northeast, when you go on the West Coast, or even brothers who grew up in the Midwest, you are in white society or you're in a culturally diverse society. That's period. That's it, dude. You're either in white society or a culturally diverse society. So now you see how within other groups, how do they interact with each other? And when they do change, I'm sorry, when they do choose to date outside of their group, what are black men actually able to get? So brothers down south, you're stuck with black women because why? Proximity, right? You only choose to deal with them because of proximity. But when you are in other societies, you realize, well, damn, what I can get on average, right? On average is a whole lot better than what I can get from them. Again, look off the fact that when it comes to the hair, black women want to wear blonde wigs. I can go date a white girl. Don't even have to be the prettiest white girl, but guess what? She got natural blonde hair. You know what kills me about those wigs, and I'm off topic, right? What kills me about the wigs is the hairline part. Like it doesn't even look natural. Like the lace front looks so cheap. Come on, man. But again, back to that brother who paid $80,000 to break his legs. And again, when the reporter asked him, "So you think you're getting better caliber women?" He said, "Do not think. I know." You saw the smile on his face. He's confident in the fact that he's getting higher quality women. And that brother said he's down there in Atlanta. So I'm already knowing how black women in Atlanta play that game because when I was in university down there, listen, black women were telling me I'm short. Bitch, what? I'm towering over you. I can give you a noogie. I can see the lights on top of your head. I can see the dandruff on top of your head. I can see the flex on top of your head. I can see your receding hairline, but I'm too short. Right. Okay, get it. Boom, black man. When you go and talk to a Latina, yo, listen, for all my brothers who are under 5 feet, because even the reporter setting, when you're talking to a woman and you say, "Oh, I'm five, whatever," yo, listen, black women act like they can't hear you no more. I remember I was doing a science experiment, right? I was talking to a black woman on Hinge. I lied, right? I said I was 6'1" on my Hinge profile. You know how many likes I got from black women? And trust me, I did the whole method. I tried to make myself look taller in pictures, right? I had a step stool in my bathroom and I stood on top of the step stool to make myself look taller in my picture, but you couldn't see the step stool, right? So many black women talking about, "Oh man, you so handsome. Oh, you so cute. Oh man, how tall are you? 6'1". I'm telling you, yo, it's crazy how they go crazy. Man, it's sick. It's sick. It's really sick, right? And then a different time, my last time using Hinge, right? I remember I was on the cell phone with a black woman and I was telling her how I was no, first of all, she asked me for my height and I told her I'm not gonna tell her. And no, I'm sorry. She asked me for my height and I lied. I said I was 5'7" or like 5'6" or something like that. I'm not 5'6" or 5'7", I'm 5'10". But I told her that was my height. And she told me, "Well, don't even worry about linking up with me. I only go out with guys who are over 6 feet." I'm like, damn. So that's how guys who are in the 5 foot range are getting treated. Granted, yo, listen, I can touch the rim. Forget touch. I can grab the rim of a 10-foot regulation height basketball goal. Right? Now, am I dunking? Am I rim grazing? No, but I can definitely jump and grab that rim. So obviously, I'm not that fucking short. But again, in black women's mind, they're talking about how you're too short. I've actually had Latinas and Asian girls tell me how I'm tall. You know, I always fix my face. I'm like, tall? I'm like, black women already destroyed my self-esteem when it came to being tall. Dude. I'm not tall. I'm average, right? And in their minds, I'm average. Maybe I'm tall for guys compared to their own men, but you know, I mean, that's cool, right? That's cool. But again, just hearing that alone, black men, that's gonna boost your self-esteem. Like, damn, maybe I'm not that short. Only black women who are talking about, and you know what's worse? It's the short black women who are talking about you're short. And shorty, you're 5'2", you're 5'3", you're 4'11". Like I said, black men, you'll see real quick when you grow up or live outside of black society, everything else is relatively normal. Am I saying it's perfect? No, but it's corrigible. Only within black society, that's how far that young man's self-esteem was in the fucking dumpster. He went to go spend $80,000 to break his motherfucking legs and become 6 feet tall, black men. What about when he has kids? He is genetically 5'5". His kids are going to come out short. He needs to either not have kids, or when he has kids, let them know, listen, you're going to be short. I'm 6 feet because I paid $80,000 for this. Yo, black man, he should have got a passport. He should have got a passport, or he should have at least moved to a different side of the country. Go move to Nebraska. Go move to San Diego. Go move to Seattle. Go move to North Dakota. Go move to Wyoming. Go move to New Hampshire. Go move to Connecticut. Go move somewhere. Do something besides spend 80 grand. Listen, there was an interviewer who interviewed him on a different podcast, right? And asked him, you don't think that you could have done anything else with that $80,000, buy you a car, get you a new crib, something else with that money? He said, nah, I made a good investment. That's how much, I'm telling you, that's how much black men care about pussy. You're willing to go that far. And see, that same energy, that same amount of money, black men, when you take that, and again, with semen retention, that same energy, the same money, that same willpower, and you transmute that into other ways to improve your life, I'm telling you, black men, you will forget about black women. See, in order to forget about black women, you have to remove yourself out of close proximity to them. Because why? You're going to always be at the mercy to them, dude. Always. Anyways, black man, I think I got my point across in this video, right? Semen retention monk mode. You give yourself 365, give yourself 720, right? That's 2 years to figure things out. I'm telling you, if you practice 2 years, stop chasing black women. I mean, when really any woman in general, stop chasing females together. Stop trying to figure out how to bust a nut. Stop watching porn, all that nonsense, and take that same sexual energy, take that same sexual attention, and transmute that into positive areas of your life. And I'm telling you, when those 2 years go past, when the 3 years go past, when the 4 years go past, you'll look back on your life and thank yourself for putting in that work. Now you can separate. Now you can get away from that nonsense, that game, that twisted, fucked up game, black man. I'm telling you, I'm trying to help young men. This is why I make the content. Anyways, black man, I'm out. Peace.